Howdy, howdy.
Hi, Cesar. I'll be right with you.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, thanks. I'm hooking us up to Facebook.
Hi, John.
Hello, Caesar. It was.
Got a little chilly outside, huh, John?
Yeah, it did. It did. Today was a lot different than yesterday. It was like 10 degrees cooler.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Hello, all. Ooh, that's bad.
That's really weird. How about this one?
You. Oh no, the ghost of Cesar.
Oh my.
I'll be right back.
We'll be right here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please sit by.
I'll get some water. Water. Hey, John, is that a different screen or do you paint it?
My wife painted it. Yes. So it's kind of the same, but it's different. She painted over it. Just put, painted white and then painted over it. So
You gotta use it as a green screen.
I know, I told her that. I said, well, let's paint it all green and then we can have the official green screen.
You can have a great time putting stuff on that green screen.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I can imagine. If I was talented in that, I'd probably do it, but I don't think I am.
Oh, you gotta try it. I'm sure you got talent there somewhere. You just haven't brought it out.
Gentlemen, please remember this is on Facebook Live.
That's okay. We're not cussing. Hey, Scott.
Hey, hello.
Where is-
Hi.
Nobody's blown away yet, huh?
No.
The wind is just hellacious right now.
Yeah. Hi, Trish. Hi, Trish.
Hi there.
Hey, Trish.
Hi.
Well, I had the great pleasure today, yesterday, day before yesterday, oh no, Monday, yesterday, of meeting face to face with our city manager and our mayor
Ah,
in person.
2 weeks after your vaccine, huh? 2 weeks out from your vaccine?
Well, we were opening the school. We opened the elementary school on Monday.
Right?
It was so much fun. I'm not sure who was more excited, the students or the parents of the students. It was very cute. Okay, ooh, 6 o'clock. Hi, welcome. I'd like to call this special meeting of the City Council Tuesday, April 13th at 6 p.m. to order. This meeting will be conducted pursuant to the provisions of the Governor's Executive Order N2920. In order to minimize the spread of COVID-19 virus, the City Council is conducting this meeting by Zoom webinar and will be offering alternative options for public participation. You are encouraged to watch the meeting live on Zoom or Facebook. Please follow the Governor's shelter-in-place order and CDC guidelines regarding preventative measures and do your part to help flatten the curve and prevent further spread of COVID-19. And in compliance with the American Disabilities Act and the Governor's Order N2920, the city will make reasonable arrangements to ensure accessibility to this meeting. If you need special assistance to participate in any meeting, please contact the Deputy City Clerk a minimum of 48 hours prior to the meeting at 831-623-4661. Okay. Pledge of Allegiance. Councilmember Friels, can you please start us off in the pledge?
Yes. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
States of America.
and to the republic for which it stands, one
one
nation, under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Right.
May I please have a roll call?
Certainly. Mayor Jordan,
Present.
Vice Mayor Flores,
Here,
Councilmember Edge,
She
Let me
is
see.
absent.
Councilmember Freeman,
Here,
Councilmember Friels.
Here?
You have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Two A, action items, approve affidavit of posting. May I please have a motion?
so moved.
Second?
second it, or Scott can second it.
Thank you very much. Roll call, please.
Yes, Councilmember Edge is absent. Councilmember Flores,
Yes,
Councilmember Friels,
Yes.
Councilmember Freeman,
Yes,
Mayor Jordan.
Yes.
All members of the council being present, the motion as stated by the maker passes 4-1 with one council member absent.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Freeman, we lost video.
oh, that's okay, I'll start it again. Hang on. Here we go.
There he is.
Thank you very much. 2B, amend Council Resolution 2020-43, removing rental assistance from the Community Development Block Grant CARES Act V1, leaving subsistence payment to low-income residents for utility payments and execute the amended MOU with the city of Hollister and San Benito County to reflect the change. City Manager, take it away.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the City Council. You know, if the CDBG program isn't complicated enough, COVID finds ways to make it even more complicated. We adopted City Council Resolution 2020-43 last fall. The program was the initial version 1 of the CARES Act approved in June 2020, the federal government's first response to the pandemic. Through the CARES Act, support for San Juan Bautista came in various forms, which is typical for federal approval. And in this particular form, it came through their existing Community Development Block Grant Program administered through HUD. But because we're a smaller city, we work directly with Housing and Community Development to receive these funds. It comes through the State Department. And then we get to apply for and receive these funds. And so we did that. And being a small amount, initially only $23,000, it was increased to $63,000, which was good. But still, that's not a lot of money for the city to try and administer its own CDBG program. And there was an opportunity to partner. And Enrique, the Deputy Director of Public Health, is on with us today. And we partnered with Enrique's team and with the city of Hollister to establish a rental assistance program and utility assistance program for those who suffered a loss of income due to the pandemic. So we went along our way, and that was in August, and by the fall, our contract had yet to be approved by HCD, and many of us trying to administer this program attended a webinar from HCD in January that said, hey, the CARES Act 2 has been approved and has approved a rental assistance program that the state will administer directly to all the residents in the state of California. So there's new money that's duplicating the program that we tried to establish in August of this year. There is a federal legislation referred to as the Stafford Disaster Relief and Emergency Assistance Act, the Stafford Act from 1988. And believe it or not, this is a law designed to bring in orderly and systematic means by which programs are delivered. And when the second CARES Act approved a rental assistance program that is available to San Juan Bautista and county residents applying directly to the state, and I put that link in the staff report so people can find it, we need to then change our program. We can't have a duplicate effort. The idea is to be orderly and that we only have one program as to not confuse others. So we decided as a group on a staff level that we would modify our MOU with the county, allowing them to administer the program on our behalf to the benefit of our residents, and modify it by keeping the subsistence payments to help with utility bills through 2024, I believe, and then amend that and resubmit that to Housing and Community Development for approval. So that's the resolution before you tonight. It's a simple action being requested to correct the course of this project, simply because the federal government kind of duplicated what we were already doing. Nobody's fault. We'll just clean this up and get this program on the ground and moving forward. So with that, I'm happy to answer the council's questions. And Enrique's here, but he's here to present mostly on the second program, which is about homelessness. But if you have any questions about the county on this specific program, I'm sure he'd be happy to help pitch in. Hi, Enrique. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much. Vice Mayor Flores, questions, comments, concerns on this?
I have a comment on the resolution that's up for us to approve. I would really like you guys to take a look at page 4, and the heading is, I mean, I'm a stickler for typos. I'm sorry, but that's where I work. And if it's a government document, it should be, correct. And it says a resolution of the City Council of the City of San Juan Bautista amending resolution or something, misspell. Then Then you go down to where it says utility assistance program removing, comma, by removing rental assistance. That it just doesn't make sense to me. It's obviously a cut and paste thing, but you know,
I'm sorry, where was the second change?
the sixth line from the top. Program removing,
Yeah, removing
Comma.
needs to be deleted. I'm sorry. Yeah, going too
Is that
fast.
sorry?
You're right. You're right, Councilmember Flores. I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Just, you know, just correct it, that's all. I
Anything
know
in
you
all
didn't do it on
caps,
purpose.
anything in all caps up there does not, spell check doesn't touch, so that resolution, it really does have to be, I should have looked at it more closely.
That's okay, I'll look at it.
Appreciate that.
Other than that, I think we should move forward on this. It's a good way to partner with the county.
Thank you
and-
very much. Councilmember Frios, questions, comments, concerns?
No questions. I have had people ask me about assistance for utilities. So this looks like we're heading in the right direction for some folks that are struggling a bit. So I'm good to go with this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Freeman, any questions, comments, or concerns?
Today I saw a document that had all the businesses and the amount of CARES funding they received. I believe it was on a Bonito Link article, and there was quite a few San Juan businesses. So I think this is headed in the right direction and doing the right thing. I don't know if those figures were from this category of money or from the next one or from the future ones, but I would assume it wouldn't be the future ones. It'd be either this one or one that was recently passed. So I think we're headed in the right direction, and I'm in favor of it.
Thank you very much. I have a couple of questions. The third to the last whereas, it's on page 2 of the resolution itself. The administrative costs would pay for county staff to work in San Juan Bautista. Is that correct?
Yes, in conversations with Enrique, the effort is to get outreach to our residents. We, of course, help with that on Facebook and in the typical ways that we do. But that would help pay for the cost to meet possibly in the library and with other opportunities to have residents sign up who would like to apply for this help. We've also been distributing flyers and things through our food distribution program on Fridays, which the county will help with. The grant allows,
I'm sorry, that has started already in the boxes?
there are other programs like this out there that Enrique and the county are administering, so we've been helping promote them. So it's been a team effort, but yes, the county will take on the administrative burden for the city, and that's approximately 17% of the grant money.
Okay, and we will hear soon on how, and this is open to all our residents.
Yes.
Okay, and we will hear soon how and when we are going to start reaching out to them, and what means we are going to start reaching out to them when this opens, and how, when, and where our folks can apply.
Yes, it should be a simple process, but we'll do our best to promote it for everyone.
Okay, do we have a start date on this?
No, we need to submit this by the 16th of this month, by Friday, and then HCD will amend our contract, and then we'll be ready to go. So it could take 3 or 4 weeks for HCD to turn it around.
Okay, perfect. And just to remind everybody that this will be for utility bill payments, and that the rental assistance program, if any of our residents are looking for rental assistance, they can follow and we'll have to put this out there somewhere also on our website, I suppose. .ca.gov/COVID website.
Right. Yes, I can make sure and get that up in the morning. You bet. Yes, and there's a quote from that website talking about whether it's a health-related event or significant financial hardship, COVID-19 has affected all of us. As our state continues to recover, we are committed to keeping families housed and recognize that California renters and landlords have enough to worry about. So they want to make sure that past due rent isn't one of them. So that's their motto moving forward. So anything we can do to help our residents get to that funding source would be helpful for everyone.
Don, we've lost the mayor momentarily.
Oh, that's why I got to speak so long. I'm working on that contract from Etheric.
She froze for a while and then she was gone.
Good.
We sure need broadband, folks.
Yes, we do. More of it. The more the better.
Oh.
We've got digital, you know, we now have digital. I don't know what, I mean, my Spectrum's pretty fast. I don't know what's going on. Just seems like we are using it at one time and it locks up.
I'm so very thrilled with our internet. I apologize for that. So as I was saying before
Then we
I
got
went
most of
out,
it.
we have been meeting with our business community for quite some time now. I'm not sure how many weeks we're up to, and have assisted with helping them recoup and recover and restart. And this is an awesome way to help the rest of our community now, and I'm super thrilled with it. Do we have any public comment out there?
I don't see, we have one member of the public other than Enrique, and the hand is not raised.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. This is an action item, so I will entertain a motion now.
So moved.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you very much. May I have a roll call, please?
And this is for resolution 2021-16.
It's a resolution.
Councilmember, yes.
Movement.
So, yeah, the
What's
resolution is recommending the MOU.
Okay.
Councilmember Edge is absent. Councilmember Flores,
Yes.
Councilmember Friels,
Yes.
Councilmember Freeman,
Yeah,
Mayor Jordan.
Yes.
All members of the council being present, the motion as stated by the maker passes 4-0-0-1 with one absent.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have a discussion item. This is to discuss the use of Community Development Block Grant CARES Act V2 and V3 funds estimated to be $231,284. City Manager Don Reynolds, take it away.
Thank you, Mayor Jordan, members of the City Council. This second item focuses on version 2 and version 3 of the same CARES Act funding that was referenced in our last report, version 1. This came available in December, pardon me. The notice of programs came out in December, early January, and provided the city with another opportunity for more money from CDBG, which to my knowledge, the city has not received or administered in the past. It was proposed in January that the city work with Hollister and the county to focus on homelessness. And at the time, it was specifically the shelter. And I inquired with Enrique Areola and the county to see if we could create a program that was more outreach and service oriented, or at least a balance of the two. Because what we find and when we work with homeless in our community, it's the outreach and the contact with the family that arrives in the RV, and the RV is broken down, or someone is mentally ill and has serious issues that the city code enforcement, sheriff's department is not capable of handling. So we worked on that, and a notice was published in late January for a February 9 hearing, and the county went ahead in February and approved a program focused on supporting its homeless programs. In the meantime, I was curious about how else we might be able to use these funds. And coincidentally, just this past week, we hired a grant manager. We're looking at hiring a grant writer for us. And she and I were talking about this program. And for example, I had put out the idea of using this to replace the parking we had lost from the parklets as a result of COVID. And she said you couldn't do that. She said that if we were to do an economic development program, it would have to be directed directly to the business owners. And she felt overall that this was a smart path to take and the most efficient use of our funds. And I'm not sure when the city will be capable of contributing this much to the homeless programs. And for that reason, I invited Enrique, and a few of you have seen these slides in this program, but it's truly impressive, the programs that Enrique has put together that this program is intended to support. So the total between the three agencies is proposed to be $1.1 million, and 850,000 of that would be dedicated to homeless services, including operations of the shelter, but also emergency hotel vouchers, outreach services, a housing navigator to help a homeless person navigate between the different systems to achieve housing, case management, rapid rehousing activities, and supportive services. So our contribution, we could think of it as going towards those services so that when we need outreach in our community, it would be available. And as Enrique and I discussed, we're going to hire a specific outreach staff person to focus on our community and rural parts of the county to implement this program. So, but with that, I'd like to give Enrique a chance to share his screen and to walk quickly through the slides and let the council know of all the programs that they're working on that this money is intended to support. Enrique, are you able to share your screen?
I hope so. Let me see. No, the host needs to give me permission.
I'm sorry, as a panelist, I thought you had permission. Hold on. There you go.
Okay, let me see. Okay, so let me go ahead and get started with this. This presentation, so that everybody's aware of it, was also given last week at the Intergovernmental Council committee meeting, and it touched on just the general homeless census information on different programs that we have right now, and also some solutions that I think would be good for our community. So the CDBG CV2 and CV3 does support some of these programs in the larger scope of helping solve homelessness and having greater housing outcomes among this community. Just briefly, as far as the homeless numbers, the 2019 homeless census show that we have 283 compared to 527 a few years before. In 2015, 651. This has been actually our highest number. 2013, 365, and 2011, 193. This day in 2019, it rained a lot and it was hard to locate our homeless community. So I know we have a lot more than 283. The census also showed other data, and really quick, 40%
Anyone hear him?
Oh, we can't hear him.
No.
Oh, I lost the volume.
Audio, no audio.
Enrique, can you hear us? Gosh sakes.
Ricky live in San Juan?
Yeah, does he live in San Juan? Maybe he
He's
came to the.
Paper. Just
came
kidding.
to the council chambers. He did stop sharing his screen, so maybe he's signing back in.
Yeah, he probably signed out and signed back in.
Yeah, a little note said he left.
Fine example of why we need to upgrade.
There was something going on at the windmill yesterday. Laying cable.
Etheric has started. They've invested $70,000 and we have a draft contract now.
Yeah.
So when it goes on top of the water tank up there, are we gonna be able to use that signal?
Oh, yeah, it'll be a subscription, so you have to pay into it, but yeah.
Yeah. And I apologize. This is not an agenda item, so we can't discuss it.
Well, we're just waiting for Enrique to come back.
Right. We can
Correct.
we can discuss anything on the agenda.
So we can't discuss how sucky the wind's been?
Maybe.
Well, This interruption in service,
We're voting on that.
this interruption of service was not on the agenda, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, can you hear us?
Looks like he's back on, but I don't see anything.
There he is.
Yeah.
Are you back, Enrique?
Trying a phone computer combo.
A weird noise you're making.
He's in two places.
That's
Well,
Tommy.
I'm not sure how to handle this because my computer is not working now, so I have my phone. So I can log out from my computer and just continue on without the PowerPoint. Is that fine?
You
Yes.
can just talk right there.
Scott has already seen the slides, I believe, all right? You and I were discussing them today?
Yeah, I pulled them up this when you sent them out this afternoon or this morning.
Yeah, I did. I saw them also.
John and I have actually seen them too. We were on the governmental meeting.
I'm back.
Hi.
So
Great.
I'll just, if you guys don't mind, I'll just take a couple more minutes and I'll skip in some of these slides. But I wanted to at least talk about some of the services that we provide. And we have a number of services, and just to summarize, ranging from permanent supportive housing programs. Permanent supportive housing programs are programs that provide additional support, including case management, wraparound services, subsidy with rental assistance. Is a permanent type of project, we have 11 units that we rent for either homeless family or homeless individuals. We have rapid rehousing with housing navigation, case management, rental subsidies. Hotel voucher program was really big, especially during the pandemic. We fundraised about $500,000, and we had people in different hotels. We also operate the COVID units for those homeless individuals that tested positive. We subcontract with an operator for the operations of the shelter, the home resource center, and other grants that we've received. So as far as projects and recommendations, one of the suggestions was for us to really focus on housing. I think it's really important. If we really want to tackle the issue of homelessness, we will never, I can tell you this, we will never improve our homeless situation here if we don't really address the root issue of homelessness, which is they have no homes and they need housing. So we need to build housing plans, more housing projects, and other forms of housing, whether they're transitional housing and so forth. So we do have a shelter. It's capacity to 450, and even if we have the shelter at full capacity, they're still homeless. So solution is housing. I think it's really important. We are currently building.
I think he just froze.
While we're waiting for Enrique to get back, one of the questions, they're affected by COVID capacity as well, correct?
You can't hear me?
Oh, there you are. Hi, yes.
Oh, I kept talking. I'm so sorry. No. So yes, we are also affected severely, and we have been very busy with homeless programs, especially during the pandemic. So in the next few months, we will have built an additional 11 units for transitional housing. We also need to what was recommended to partner with the housing authority to provide a priority voucher program where homeless individuals or families get placed into housing through a housing authority voucher. So that'll be a permanent type of solution. We also recommended for increasing funding for permanent supportive housing programs, future development of low-income affordable housing projects. We also had a discussion where this is tied to the CDBG coronavirus round 2 and 3. The establishment of an organized encampment with essential services and with also parking for RVs. This is a big need because right now encampments are scattered throughout the county. And that in itself has concerns community-wide, with garbage, their well-being, their safety, and so forth. So having an encampment that is more structured, organized with essential services is very, very important. And there's many communities that do have this type of projects. It's not an easy project, I can tell you that. And I know, it just has a lot of elements to it, but there needs to be different solutions. Another type of solution that we discussed with the city of Hollister last year is a sprung tent structure that can be set up for handling a number of, it's an indoor structure, it's industrial tent, it's large, there's, it's another form of having additional capacity because we need that additional capacity. We also talked about the possibility of a future project for a tiny village project where there are units available for homeless individuals coupled with supportive services. And other communities do have such a project. Increased low-income housing inventory throughout the county that is very much needed. I believe we have a housing crisis. We don't have enough inventory. We interact with landlords and try to place individuals that need housing into housing. It's always a huge struggle. I think we need outreach teams with the ability to go to San Juan Bautista, other rural areas, other locations within the county to have this level of outreach and refer them to different services I think we also need continued with aggressive fund development to continue to support the different programs. So these are some of the strategies, some of the things that we talked about last week. But as far as the CDBG CV23, it part of it will support, again, the establishment of an organized encampment, and the remainder of the funds will help support some emergency shelter with the operations next door, and also some rehab funding, and also hiring of outreach teams and providing the different services that our homeless community would need, with a whole goal of increasing housing outcomes, housing navigation services, and so forth. So that's something that we are really trying to strive right now and implementing within our strategy for permanent housing pathways.
Great.
That summarizes my update.
Thank you.
Sorry about my microphone.
Nope, no worries. Thank you very much. Thank you. Do we have any public comment on this?
I don't see any hands raised. We have 2 in attendance.
Okay. If anybody else joins or somebody decides to say something, we'll get back to them at the end. Vice Mayor Flores, questions, comments, concerns?
No comment, sorry.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Friels, questions, comments, concerns?
Enrique, thank you for the presentation. Just one quick question. Have you learned that the grand majority of the folks that are homeless in the county actually want to be in an encampment, organized in an encampment or in housing?
You know, that's it's hard to say. They are right now in their own encampments, and encampments may range from just a few to maybe 10, 15. So they're already in a setup like that. I think by having an established encampment is that they won't be asked to leave. I mean, once you're there, you know, and with the goal to have the different types of utilities, I think there are benefits to having such an encampment, but it needs to be operated in a way that it does provide the different support systems and addresses the garbage, you know, having garbage services, restrooms, and so forth. But it's really hard to say, but it's certainly an option worth exploring further. And I think that with aggressive outreach and making rapport connections with our homeless community, I think it can be accomplished.
No, I agree. I was talking to Dawn about this earlier today. I had the opportunity to help deliver twins to a woman in a tent under a bridge. And, and she had drug-related problems, and it was 35 degrees outside at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was a tough way to come to life, you know, for these 2 little girls. And I think if they would have been in some type of a organized community where they had help nearby, it would have been a lot better off for both of them. So I'm in favor of getting folks into some help. It's I was a fireman 30 years. I saw a lot of firsthand homeless stuff. A lot of people are just needing, they just need a helping hand to get on. So thank you again for your service. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councilmember Freeman, questions, comments?
I do have one question. Thank you, Enrique, for a great presentation. Appreciate it. I have one question. I've seen where in other communities in the Bay Area where they have, and you started to talk about it a little bit when you mentioned RVs, but they have established like a parking lot at a school or maybe a certain building, shopping center or whatever, where the RVs that house people who don't have a traditional home, but their home is their RV, where they can come and park and spend the night. And apparently some of the other communities are providing minimal police coverage and things like that, so that things don't get out of hand. I was wondering if we've thought anything like that, and what our options are there.
You know, very good question. We had our CDBG public hearing for the 2021 grant, and we had a couple of homeless community members that were present at the public hearing through Zoom. And that's exactly what they brought up. You know, they were asking that in this county, there's no location that they can safely camp out without being bothered or kicked to another camp. And also with the RVs that, no, there's just RVs, and they know of other individuals that are homeless or live in their RV and they're just roaming from place to place, and having a designated location for this would have a great benefit for this community. So this idea, as far as an established encampment, the idea is to also include for parking of the RV. So it should be a joint type of strategy. So that's the idea presently.
Thank you. That sounds like a great idea.
Thank you. I have a couple of questions, and thank you very much for joining us this evening. It was a wonderful presentation, even the second time around. I appreciate it. How many folks used your facility, used the shelter in 2020 during COVID? Were you full? As full as under the restrictions? You fell under restrictions also, correct?
Yes, there's many variables. So it is a 50-bed capacity. We reduced it to 25 just to keep safe distancing, and the remainders, we moved them, those that were most vulnerable, to local hotels. So we had total of 25, and we averaged, I would say, about 20, 22. The female dormitory was the one that usually had some empty beds, but staff was always diligent and try to recruit and so forth. Right now, we just moved from 25 to 30, so we have maximum 30. And I believe there's about the same type. So there's about, I would say, about 7, 8 available beds for individuals in need to go and stay there at the shelter.
And how do these individuals get to you? Is it, I know that you exist, so I'm gonna come out there?
Different ways, word of mouth. There's people that do call the office, and we let them know where the shelter is. Or sometimes enforcement would, police officers might, take some individual. So it's just different ways. We also, as a county, have other homeless programs. So if we have a homeless individual applying for a hotel voucher, first option is always a shelter. Is there room at the shelter? And then we refer them to the shelter. So it's just different ways that we have that ability.
Understood. Do you have a count of how many folks came from San Juan, reside in San Bautista?
We have the ability, every person that comes in gets entered into the HMIS, the Homeless Management Information System. And if a homeless individual identified as residing in San Juan Bautista and they're not coming here, I don't have it with me, but I can certainly look into it if you like.
Just a question. Thank you. I just want to, I was just curious as to how many came from here, as to those who live in the county areas or those who live in Hollister. A comment I made on the intergovernmental meeting was, and part of the program is no alcohol, no drugs, no pets, and for the shelter, no families. So would the tent incorporate families? Could it incorporate families? And how do we deal with families at the moment?
So a couple of questions on that. So at the moment, we haven't quite identified that, but I could tell you that if it's a tent structure, similar to the one that you saw that on the presentation last week,
Yep.
That has the ability to have even rooms set up for that purpose. So it's possible. Right now with the families, there is a big gap. I could say there's no emergency year-round shelter for families. We do, as a county, operate the winter shelter program. We usually target 20 homeless families, and it's always full. as families transition into permanent housing prior to termination of the program, the end of the program, we will get another family there. But once the program ends, that becomes a huge void. Families will either, if they're not housed, will either go back to their settings, whether it's with a friend staying in the living room or in another type of environment. So that is a big gap with families. But in trying to address housing needs, that's even a greater reason for us to look at different options of housing, including transitional housing, emergency housing, hotel vouchers, permanent housing. Is just we just I think as a county and within all jurisdictions continue to partner, because this is great. I don't think I've been with the county a little over 12 years. I don't think we've ever had this level of partnership and submitting collaborative applications. And we've done it in the last 6 months or 8 months, twice for 2 different grants.
Thank you very much. Are there any public comments out there?
Let's
Anybody?
double check. In attendance now. I don't see any hands raised. Hopefully they can hear us. We're asking for hands to be raised in the general public. I don't see them.
Okay, thank you. So without any further comment from either the council or the public, unless a council member has any other, anything additional to ask or state, we need to now direct staff.
Someone's hungry. That's your stomach or your dog?
It's not the lack of internet, it's the animal.
We're getting yelled at.
Sorry. So we need to now direct staff to take action on this for us to deliberate on our next meeting. So what we're looking at is this resolution.
Right, and the MOU, Mayor, right?
And the MOU, okay.
If there are
and-
any changes or any of
and this is for the whole 231,000?
Yes.
Okay, does anybody from the council have any questions, comments, or concerns about sending the whole 231,284 over there?
I have a
Or
question.
have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
My question is, can we just direct the city manager to take care of that?
Well, yes, but we have to get the resolution and the MOU, and then we take a vote on it next week.
So we can bring it back on consent if that's the council's wish. That's easy.
That would be my suggestion.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Okay. Okay, so we'll bring this back next meeting as a consent item to approve the resolution and the MOU for $231,284 to go to the community development, to use these monies for homeless services in San Benito County, Hollister and San Juan Bautista. Congratulations, Enrique.
He's gone.
He said, "I'm out."
Honey and Ryan.
Okay, then. Okay, any other comments from city council members? Councilmember Flores?
No, the only thing is nice short meeting, and I'm glad we're taking care of business.
Yeah. Councilmember Friels?
Other than Shauna and I got our first round of Pfizer, we had to go up to We had to go to Pleasanton, to the Alameda County Fairgrounds, but we got it done. And our second round is at the end of the month, so I'm super excited.
Good
Thank
for
you.
you. Good for you.
Nicely done. Drink lots of fluids, take Tylenol. I'm not a doctor, I can't prescribe that. It does help.
Yeah, we had to drink a lot of water the other day, but yeah, we were fine.
Councilmember Freeman.
Nothing else to add other than I also had my 2 shots up in San Jose. About 2 weeks ago, the second one, and a month or 2 weeks before that for the first one, and it felt great. Thank you.
Nice, thank you very much. City Manager?
I scheduled my second shot for the 29th. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I did really, which is great. And after which, I think we're going to start looking into reopening City Hall. So it's time. We've had those serious discussions among staff, and we're strategically trying to do that. So I appreciate the council's time tonight. It's important programs that we're supporting. So just wanted to thank everyone for your help.
Absolutely, yeah, thank you very much for bringing these forward. This extra meeting is something that we have been throwing around to have as permanent for discussion items like this, so we don't take up a whole lot of our regular council meeting time, and we can chat more openly because it's or freely because it's such a short agenda. One question was changing the time from 6 to 4. So something to think about for our next month chat. Any comments from our city clerk?
No,
Or
no
deputy?
comments.
Or deputy city clerk? Okay, great. I now will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you very much. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you very much. Can I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Here's my paperwork. Councilmember Edge is absent. Councilmember Flores,
Yes.
Councilmember Friels,
Yes.
Councilmember Freeman,
Yes.
Mayor Jordan.
Yes. Thank you all very much.
Thanks. Have a great night.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, good night.
Good night.
Night all.